Hey, what's up guys, it's Ari, and today we're with Jody and having a look at the brand new X-Man Tornado version 3 from X-Man Design. We're very excited to get our hands on this, me especially. So yeah, thanks for X-Man and QI Toys for sending out this sample to Jody, and now I've got my little grubby little hands on this sample. But yeah, we're very excited to have a look at this because there are some nice new features and kind of a similar design to the V2, but there are some pretty major differences overall. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. Firstly, we want to talk about the adjustment system. The adjustment system is a good iteration on the V2 adjustment system. If you're not familiar with the V2 adjustment system, essentially it's just you turn clockwise for the spring compression and you turn it counterclockwise for the axis distance or the screw depth. So yeah, it's quite simple. You use this little harpoon head type of tool and then you can just adjust it and turn it like pretty easily. But the V3 is quite nice because there's a little lunch handle kind of thing that you pop out of the cube, you pop it out, and then you can make your adjustments that way by turning it clockwise and counterclockwise. Makes it really simple. It reduces the need of having that harpoon head tool for an all-in-one encompassing system, which just makes it really easy. Other than that, there aren't any too big real differences, aside from us having been sent two versions, one of which has the standard kind of white colored adjustment system like this one here, the regular one that you see in the V2, but then we also got sent one with a kind of transparent plastic. We're not too sure of the difference. Maybe we thought that maybe it was like a maglev version or something different completely, but nope, there are still springs on the inside of that, yeah. But other than that, I think it's a really cool iteration on the original system. It just makes it so nice and easy for you to adjust.
Corner magnets, sure.
Yeah. The next kind of big change that the V3 has, that came from the factory, at least for the samples that we were given by, or Jody was given by X-Man Design, is that they are now including a corner core magnetization. So there are now magnets in the corners and magnets around the core, where Jody actually used a corner core version of the version 2, where it's magnetized by a third party and not actually by X-Man. But these all three samples that we were given actually have this corner core magnetization, but inside, straight from the factory. Let's talk about turning feel. You can talk about turning feel, you're the one who's had it more.
Okay, well, out of the box, it was just very uncontrollable, and I'll be honest, it felt like a GAN cube, which for me is illegal. So
Jody's not the biggest GAN fan.
I'm not what you call a GAFan. So I quickly stuffed it with Nebula and just all the slow lube that I could get my hands on, just to slow it down. And I really enjoyed tightening it because it was just so quick to do. So that was a very quick process. I was actually on a call with Ari and it took like 5 minutes to do the whole thing.
No, much less.
Much less actually. When with the V2, it would have taken, 10 minutes to set up the whole thing, but this was just quick lube in, caps off, and twisting it with the little lunge. And the feel of it now, I've made it somewhat similar to my V2, but it's a little bit more fast and silky. It's definitely a softer plastic in my opinion, probably just because it's the primary and it hasn't been coated with anything, where the V2 has the black internals, so it's just a softer feel with piece to piece. And something that Ari mentioned was about the actual weighting of the weight distribution around the cube. The V2 it feels like all of the weight is in the center around the core, but the V3 actually feels like it's evenly distributed out to the outers of the cube. At least
a little bit more further out of the cube itself, rather than this. Like by comparison, it feels a bit more concentrated, whereas it feels quite even on the V3, which I think I quite like that. Performance. Yeah.
I have anxiety with that.
As for performance, the cube is pretty good. Like, it's the same as the version 2, except maybe with a little bit more reverse corner cutting. I think that's a solid improvement. I'm quite happy that they've improved on that. What tension do you have?
I have it on the highest screw tension and the second highest spring tension, so I have mine quite tight, which is why the reverse corner cutting on mine isn't as good, but I don't really use reverse corner cutting a lot realistically in my solve, so it's not a big deal for me. But Ari being no, I'm kidding.
I'm about to roast my turning. Put me on the spot.
No, Ari's just got a different toning style, so for him it might be more beneficial, but for me, I don't really see a benefit in it.
Yeah, this one, yeah, is definitely it's close to the V2, but it's different in feel. It's just a different type of smoothness and toning, and you probably can hear it in the toning itself. Like,
It's a lot lighter.
Yeah, this is the V2. It's got much more of a damp sort of sound.
Wet kind of sound.
Yeah, this one, it's a bit kind of crunchier, more clacky sounding.
Oh yeah. Hear that cube? Hear it turn. Oh yeah.
Yeah, great. We've now just redone the Jody ASMR stuff. Okay, that was so not necessary at all. As for the magnet adjustment, it's pretty much the exact same as the V2, honestly. You have the flathead screwdriver system where you put the flathead screwdriver in, you turn it, and that's it. There's like the 5 settings from weak to strong, and yeah, I have, this one's on the 3rd setting, the middle setting. Jody's V2 is on the 2nd to the left setting, and his setup V3 is on the 2nd to the left setting. And
oh no, this is the not setup.
Oh, this is the not setup one?
This is the setup. This is the setup one.
Oh yeah, this is the much looser one.
Yeah. That's on 3. I just felt that the magnets were a bit too weak, just because it's such a fast cube, but on this one, it was slow enough on its own, so it didn't need that extra magnet strength.
I do like the raw speed of this one out of the box though. This is not being touched. We have, how many have you set up?
I've set up 1.
He's set up 1, so the other 2 samples haven't been touched.
But yeah, 2
yeah, we just have 1 more now. Otherwise, we'll play a couple of solves here for you, but I think it's a really good upgrade to the version 2 of last year with some marginal, yet I think meaningful improvements. The tensioning is really quite, it's been further refined, which makes it just easier to tension instead of having to put the harpoon head in and do all that stuff and take it out. And I think just having it all within the cube itself for the tensioning system is really great. The corner core magnets are... I
don't think that it makes a big difference, but...
So, with the 3 samples of the Tornado version 3 that Jody has been sent, all of these samples have corner core magnetization straight from the factory, it seems. Whereas the version 2, there's no option of that straight from the manufacturer, X-Man Design himself. Jody has a version that...
Cubus Home.
Yeah, Cubus Home, which is a third party that's gone in and done the modding to that to have it corner core magnetized, where it's definitely a very stable feeling. Like, I can feel the flex on the lower tension, but the magnets do keep it together, and I guess that's kind of where it starts feeling like a GAN cube, but not in the kind of flimsy way. It still has quite a bit of substance to the turning, and it's still very, very X-Man Design sort of fit. So if you like the version 2, I have no doubt that you like the version 3. Yeah.
Invest in lube.
Invest in lube. Get something like Nebula or something like Nebula, or one of the maybe Speed Shop's thicker lubes, or just dump in a little bit of thick lube so you can slow it down so it's a bit more controllable, because it's quite fast out of the box.
But I have noticed, which is a good thing, as compared to like GAN cubes, at least in the older times, they were known to eat up lube. But these cubes have a very similar feel, but it hasn't actually used that much lube. I put a lot in, but I haven't felt the need to put any more in after, I've probably done about 500 solves on it at this point now, and it's, still feeling good. So it's retaining the lube well and distributing it.
Nice. One also quick thing we noticed while filming the B-roll of this video is that the shades of the V3 are considerably more brighter than the V2. The V3 is the one on... with the primary internals, the V2 is the one with the black internals. The shades definitely are a lot more vibrant and more brighter in color in comparison. I quite like that it's brighter. The blue is definitely of a different shade altogether, I think. There, the one on my the black internals is the Tornado version 2, primary is the Tornado version 3.
It was. Oh, look at that bird. It's such a good boy.
It's definitely much brighter when it comes to the blue color there. Otherwise, they're relatively similar, but maybe it's the internal color that's actually making the exterior shades seem a little bit brighter by comparison. But otherwise, I think that's a good change nonetheless. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed our kind of first impression.
I hope you didn't enjoy it. I hope this made your day worse.
Well, I'm sure it made people's day better.
No, I hope it made it worse.
Okay. Well, I hope you had a somewhat enjoyable time watching our first impressions and kind of first look at the Tornado version 3. Do expect a more long form review, as I haven't actually done too many solves on this myself. I've only gotten to have it like today to do a couple solves on, but Jody's done a couple hundred on it already. But expect a follow-up video for a full look at the Tornado version 3. If you enjoyed that, you can check out our version 2 review, which we actually did kind of recently, despite the cube being about a year old. You can check out that review in the card above here. Get subscribed to Jody's channel. He'll have some videos on that as well. If you enjoyed that, hit like, get subscribed, all that good stuff. You can use code ARI
Smash like
or JBrew at discount for at checkout.
Use
for
JBrew. JBrew's better.
Or code ARI is
JBrew.
Code
JBrew.
or use one of our codes at the link in the description.
Cooler. Yours is just like the first 3 letters of your name.
Yeah,
Mine's
which makes
like,
that's less letters to type on the keyboard.
Mine's like J and then it's brew.
That's less
like
letters to
brewing
type on the
coffee.
keyboard though.
I'm a barista. I'm not a barista. Sorry, not
Yeah,
fake.
check out that
fake news.
Check out that V2 review in the card above and some of the other videos that we're going to be covering the version 3 on. And that's it. Thanks for watching.